The areas covered in this video are displayed in the slide, and we do hope you enjoyed this video. So the next area we're going to look at is the File Explorer. The File Explorer is where you would go to look at any files or folders that are stored on your local hard drive on your computer. Also any device that's attached to it, for example a network drive, it could be a USB stick, even a DVD or a CD that's inserted in the computer. Once you've attached it to the machine, you should be able to go into your File Explorer and see what's inside it. First thing you need to know is how to open File Explorer. Really straightforward. You sometimes may see an icon down here, a yellow folder. That'll get you into the File Explorer. But you can also go to Search and type in File Explorer, and it'll open this up on the screen. Another thing that may come in your test, however, is closing File Explorer. So if you were to press Alt and F4, it will close it down. You also have the Xbox just at the top, which is the close option. So I'm just going to bring the other File Explorer I've got up onto the screen. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm just going to go through some key areas that you may get in your test, just to be aware that if it asks you a certain area, you know where it is. So this is File Explorer. The File Explorer has a ribbon right at the top. So we've got the File option, we've got Home, Share, and View. Share, ignore Share, it doesn't really come up in your syllabus, but View and Home will. File as well will not really come up either. Home and View are particular. So Home gives you the options to cut, copy and paste. You will also still have your right click shortcut menu too in your test, so if it asks anything there. On the left hand side of File Explorer we've got what's called the navigation pane. So this is access to all the devices that are attached to your computer, and particularly some folders that are particularly important. So you'll notice we've got this PC, which I'm using. We've got these folders just here. We also have OSC. That's the C drive. So that identifies the computer's inside hard drive. We also have some network drives just here, identified by the icon, and a network too. If you've got your Windows File Explorer a bit more smaller on the screen, let's remove File Explorer, you'll see you've got the scroll bar here. That does highly likely come up in your test, so just be aware that you're clicking it in the right location too. You've also got the status bar just down here. So the status bar for this folder is stating that there are 9 items. These here are folders, and these as well. So they could either be a file, it could be an image, it could be a Word document. Just keep in mind in your test you may be asked to identify a folder or a file as well. So just keep in mind file as a folder too. And this is the viewing pane that you'd use. And if you've got to search for something, you've got the search option just on the left hand side. So if I want to search for M3 Word, it finds stuff that is similar in words there too. So that may come up in your test as well. And another thing that may be asked in your test is to point out where the address bar is. The address bar is just up here, just here. So if you're familiar with browsing the internet, you've got an address bar. Same thing happens with File Explorer, but the address bar shows the folder previous to where you've got to just here. So this is the A126com folder in the student shared W drive that you all should have access to. So if we were to click this PC away from where we were a second ago, just there, this PC, what it'll do is it'll give you most common folders on your machine. Download pictures, desktop, music, videos and documents. You'll see you've got your device just here, which is your C drive inserted into your computer where the operating system is installed, and then we've got our network locations just there. You would also probably see a DVD disc icon just here that would identify the DVD that's been inserted or the drive that's available, and you'll also see a E drive that will identify a network removable storage device too. So if I was to show you, for example, I'm just going to insert a USB removable just to show you when it pops up onto the screen. And you'll see just there. Now it's called D because there isn't a DVD drive which is normally called the D drive. So if it was a D drive, it would highly likely to be called E, F, or G. So remember, just keep in mind in your test, if you do see it's asking you to identify the DVD drive or the removable storage device, just keep in mind you've got these icons just here that show that. With the DVD drive, it is should have this, but should also have a disc above it stating DVD too. So just keep aware. Good thing in File Explorer, if we make it a bit more bigger, is if we go to View, we can change the look of icons. So if you go to your View option just here, what we can do is we can make it medium, we can change it to details, we can extra large icons, we also do it to tiles too. Details is particularly good, which we're going to concentrate on, because what details does is it allows you to keep it by columns. So it goes by the size of the device, or it can also go by the size of the folder, the file. You've also got free space, total size, but you can also add columns too. So in your test, if it's asking you to where you go to add such and such column, you could click here and we could do comment or choose anything else. If you wanted to sort a column, it's quite straightforward. So you've got all these headings here, you can just left click one of them and it will sort them for us by ascending or descending. So in your test, if it is asking to sort something, you've got that just there. But remember, to get this viewpoint, it must be detailed. So in your test, if it's asking you to where you would go to alter the view of File Explorer so that you can see the details, straight away into the View tab and then Details just there. Coming out of File Explorer, we can also go to our desktop and we can also arrange icons. So just for this example, if I was to right click in an empty space in the desktop, just here right click, you'll see I've got in the shortcut menu, I've got sort. So if I was to click sort by name, you'll see we can sort it by name, or if I wanted to sort it by item type, for example, you'll see that it will arrange the icons, it's a couple of shortcuts and the folder and the recycle bin into position dependent on what we've decided we want it to be done there. So I'm also going to show you an example of moving files and folders through the File Explorer, but also it could be on the desktop or any location in your computer. That is what the term I'm meaning is selecting, cut and copy. So what we've got here, just using these folders and these files, just an example. These are in your A126 folders just here. So if I want to select a range of folders, we can drag, hold our left mouse button down and select all. But if you're in your test, you may not have that facility. It may ask you if what specific key you would use to do that. What you would do is you'd select the first folder and you'd hold your Shift key just down and you select the last folder or file, and that will allow you to do it. Or if you wanted specific files or folders, you'd hold the Control key down and then you can choose which ones you want. So Shift is for all, Control is to select. What we can do is we can use the cut, copy and paste feature. So cut will take an item where its location is and we can paste it by moving it somewhere else. Remember, in your test you may see a word that says move. Keep in mind that move means cut. If you see duplicate, that means copy. So if you see just here, if I quickly create an example, just a quick text file just here as example, and then what we can do is I can select and I can go to home and I can cut. Remember, cut is move, and then if I was to go into your M2 Computer Essentials, and then I can paste it just there. So let's this time use the shortcut menu, which you may have available to you. You can either use cut or copy. This time I'm going to do copy. So copy is duplicate, copy, and then we can go back, and then we can either use the shortcut menu or using the ribbon. We can press paste. And there we go. We've used the copy feature just there. What you have as well in may come in your test is your shortcut keys as well. So you can also use Control X to cut, Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste as well. We can also create new folders. So if we were to go to our ribbon, just the Home tab just up here, we can click New Folder. And then once we create the new folder, we're given the option immediately to create insert the name of the folder. Or if you were to see in your test, if it asks you the question where you would go to create a new folder, You may not have this available to you, but you can also do it by right click, new, and doing a new folder that way as well. So you've got two options, either through the ribbon or by the shortcut menu by right clicking and give it there. So it'll prompt you to give it a name once you've done that as well. Next, what I'm going to show you is I'm just going to grab our text box. I'm just going to put it onto the desktop just to show you. So what we've got is we've got the recycle bin. So if we were to delete a file or a folder, we can either select it and press delete here, or we can right click and we can delete, as long as we're renaming if we needed to. So if you ask that in the test, you can click delete or there. Because I was on the student shared W drive, I just want to go a bit local and put the example into the desktop just to show you an example. So if we were to press right click and delete, where it goes is it goes to recycle bin. Recycle bin is when you delete any files or folders that are not instantly removed from the computer. They're placed in the recycle bin, so it gives you that option. Let's say if you were deleting something by accident, it gives you a bit of a fail-safe to go in and restore the item. So if you notice, I've just opened up recycle bin just here, and you'll see there it is. The layout is quite similar to the File Explorer. We've got all our tabs just up here, but the Home tab works a bit different, and you've also got the Manage Recycle Bin tools here too. So we could empty the recycle bin, and that would, if there was a set of files or folders that were in here, it would immediately delete them from the computer. But if we wanted to restore, what we can do is we can restore the selected item, or if it was a set of them, restore all the items, or we can empty the recycle bin. So if you see this in your test, it will ask you, for example, to restore the selected items. You would have restore selected items, but careful, if it says only restore the selected items, it would be that one. That would restore all the items. So I'm just going to restore the selected item, and there you go, removed from the recycle bin, and then we put it back onto the desktop just as it is here. So the next part we're going to talk about is compressing and extracting files. So a file or a folder will have a certain size depending on what its content is. So a hard drive will have a certain amount. So if we look at it from like the point of view of a bookcase, this file here, if we were to say that, for example, it's got a couple of kilobytes of size, and if I created another text file as well, actually we'll create a Word document just here, and we'll just call it Word example. What we've got here is we've got two files, but what we can do is we can compress them both into a compressed folder, so which is called a zip folder. This process is actually called zipping. So what we can do is we can select both the files, and if we were to right click in either of them because it's been selected, you'll see that there's the option send to, and then we can go to compressed zip folder. If you see this, if it asks you in the test, if we want to zip the selected files, it's compressed zip folder in your shortcut menu just here. That will highly likely come up in your test. So if we click compressed zip folder, you'll see we've now got a zipped folder. It's called example for the first one. We can rename it our example zipped files just there. Let me just delete these two here because they're now been copied and they're in a zip file. Because it's been zipped, it means that those files are in a folder, but they've been compressed so that the file size is smaller than what it originally was. To extract, or we should say unzip as it's called, we right click the folder, and you'll see not going to send to, you'll see extract all. Extract all is only available for any folders that are zipped. So we click extract all, it'll ask us the destination, so we're just going to put it on our desktop. We're going to click extract, and you'll see it's the same folder. So this window is just opened up just here. You'll see those two files that were here are in a folder, but they've been extracted. So you can edit them freely and go as what you please just that way. So it's a good example of extracting. So extracting is send to, compressing is send to, and then extracting will unzip the folder for you. So keep an eye on that in your test. Finally, in relation to files and folders on a computer, we also would need to know, particularly in our test, and maybe asking what properties are related to a file. So in the example zipped files that we've just unzipped from here, if you were to double click in here, if you were to right click the word example folder file or any file on a desktop or any storage device that there is, right click, you'll see we've got our shortcut menu here with several options. If you go down to the bottom, you've got properties, and this the file will bring up this window once you hit the properties, and you'll see that it's got the file icon, which is Word for us here. We've got the name of the file, we've got the application that it'll always open with on your computer, we've got the type of file, so you'll see the type of file is .x. You've got the location of where it's placed on the storage device, so this for example is on the hard drive. We've got the file size, we've also got the file attributes as well, so if you can only read it, if you didn't want anyone to edit it, you can have that ticked there. And you've got some advanced things, so just keep in mind if it does ask you in test where you would go to find the properties of a file, it's always right click and properties just there.